Hello, thanks for joining me today. And this is Discovering My Money. And today I'm talking about how you can kind of set yourself up to put money away in your budget. So, one of the things that I'm doing right now is I'm trying to save up for a course I'm taking, but with the course I need technology. I can't afford both, but I could afford either. So, I want to save up so I can get the course and the technology I need to do that course. There's a couple different ways you can do it. You can just be really strict on yourself. You can take that money as soon as you get paid and you can throw it into another account. And that's a great way to do it because it's very certain, right? Then you say, okay, I have this much money. That's all I get, right? So it can be a little bit punishing, especially in my case where I don't get paid the same amount each month. Now I could say, I know I'm going to get at least this much, so I could budget based on the minimum and then just put that away every time. And then if I have extra money left over, I have extra money to spend. But I want to have that extra money into my savings. So what I really want to do is kind of set up my budget based on that minimum, and then whatever is left over, I get the extra towards that savings as well, because it's something that I want to save as quickly for as possible. But I don't want to kind of put that kind of stress on myself on my weekly, monthly spending. So how I'm going to set up my budget is going to look like this. I'm going to set up all my expenses, take all my rent or mortgage out. I'm going to take car payments out, all those things that need to pay, right? Anything on that list, that money's gone. Then what I'm going to do is look at, well, coffees, lunches, going out with friends, things that I can control, like if I'm going to go shopping for clothes, put some limitations on that. Things that I do need or can kind of wait for. I want to restrict that a little bit and kind of budget it so that I'm doing so much a month. And then now I'm going to budget that minimum that I want to save based on what my lowest income is, my lowest variable is. And then the highest variable on the months I get paid more, I'm going to take that extra and I'm going to apply it to this savings, which I'd like to go as fast as possible. Now I'm going to break that down into at least a weekly, maybe even a daily. So I'm going to look at it and go, well, I'm going to allow myself, $50 a week for coffees and lunches. Well, that seems like a lot of money, but if after you've had a few lunches and coffees, that's actually not very much, right? So you might get one lunch or two lunches and then only a couple coffees, or one lunch and maybe a few coffees. So you start to see where that money starts disappearing. And then, you go for coffee and sometimes, I might need a donut or a muffin or, something to go with it. So that money kind of starts slipping away if you're not putting some controls on it. So you have kind of the lever of how much you're spending, as opposed to just spending and then going, whatever's left over, I'll save that. And sometimes you go, whoa, where did it go? It's gone. And I'm kind of at that point right now where I need to have a little bit more control so that when I'm saving up for this course and the technology, I'm getting there as fast as possible and not feeling impatient and wanting to go out and put it on credit. Now that is kind of the killer, right? Because I put it on credit, now I'm paying interest. So that means I'm actually paying extra for something that I want to do, when all I had to do was kind of get control of my spending a little bit and do that. Now I know in some cases we sit back and go, that's a lot of work. Yeah, it's a little bit of work, but it's once you've budgeted a few times, it starts getting easier. So start doing a basic budget, break it down more and more as you get better at it and it gets easier. And some of the stuff in your budget is not going to change. Your income is probably going to stay the same or relatively the same, unless you get raises or unless you change jobs or some things like that. If you have a variable income, you probably know what that variable is going to be. Your car payment's only going to change when you buy a new car. Your mortgage or rent is going to only change when you move, right? So those things are fairly stable. You're only changing like little things. So start making that basic budget, set yourself up, and then when you want to save for something, you have a lot more control over it, and you're going to have a lot better idea as to how much you're going to save, how long it's going to take, and how you can maybe speed that up by just making a few cuts here and there. All right. Hope you'll join me for the next video. Hit subscribe and like, that helps me out, and we'll talk more about budgeting next time. See you then.